Hi guys, I'm Dr. Sunil Sharma. Now today's topic is olfactory nerve for the decoding head and neck for the ENT postgraduate and NEET PG exams. Okay, now olfactory nerve and olfactory pathway, and we will talk about smell also. That smell is in human being is our most underestimated sense. Rest of other five senses are better than smell. Now we will talk about this olfactory pathway or olfactory nerve. We will start this. It's olfactory nerve. This olfactory nerve is having, it's situated at the olfactory area, which is situated in the upper part of the nose, upper part of nasal cavity. Upper part of nasal cavity, 6 centimeter from the this nostril, 7 centimeter from the nostril. It's about 1 mm wide area in each nasal cavity, which situated at the upper part of the septum, superior turbinate and cubriform plate mucosa. So it's situated in the upper part of the septum, superior turbinate area and cubriform plate. This is the area where this 5 to 10 centimeter square surface area of this olfactory epithelium. So total area is 5 to 10 centimeter square surface area, and it's situated on the upper part of the septum, superior turbinate and cubriform plate. Now we will talk about olfactory pathway. The olfaction starts from mucous membrane. This is mucous membrane, which is serous, which secreted by the mucus secreted by the Bowman's glands. Okay, the olfactory epithelium. This olfactory epithelium is pseudo-stratified. Olfactory epithelium is MCQ again. Pseudo-stratified columnar epithelium. This is pseudo-stratified columnar epithelium. This olfactory pathway. First is olfactory epithelium, which mainly made up of this bipolar neuron. These are bipolar neurons called bipolar olfactory receptor cells. But this is about 6 million in human beings. This is about 6 millions in human beings. This olfactory epithelium having 6 type of the cells. First cell is bipolar receptor cells, that is called olfactory receptor cells. This is bipolar olfactory cell which having olfactory hair at the mucous membrane. These are olfactory hairs. Okay, so this is about 6 million in number, and this olfactory epithelial bipolar cells having special characteristic, that is it's regenerate in every 60 days. This regenerate in every 60 days. This mucus is replaced every 10 hours. So mucus replaced every 10 hours in the human beings, and this bipolar olfactory receptor cell regenerate in every 60 days. So there are 6 type of cells. One is, that is for olfaction, primary olfaction, that is bipolar olfactory receptor cells. In neuroepithelium having 6 type of cells. First is bipolar receptor cell. Second one is sustentacular or supporting cells. These are sustentacular or supporting cells. These are supporting cells. Supporting cells. which support the this bipolar cells, and this enhance the capacity and diffusion capacity of the odorant to the receptor cells. Microvilli cells, which are unknown in function. Fourth one is Bowman's gland. Bowman's gland are duct cells of Bowman's glands are mainly mucus secretory. These secretes, Bowman's glands secrete the mucus. Again MCQ. Bowman's gland secrete the mucus. Then horizontal dark cells. These are horizontal dark cells are also one type of the stem cells and supporting cells. Globose and light cells. These are very important cells. Globose or light cells are stem cells, which form the bipolar receptor cell in each and every 60 days. Okay, this is all about olfactory epithelium. Olfactory epithelium, again 6 type: bipolar receptor cells, sustentacular supporting cell, microvilli cells, Bowman's gland, horizontal dark cells, globose, light cells. These 6 type of the cell found in the olfactory epithelium. Now this olfactory bundles, this olfactory receptor cells forms 15 to 20 filaments. 15 to 20 MCQ again. 15 to 20 filament which cross the cribriform. This is the cribriform plate. Cross the cribriform plate and goes into this olfactory bulb. This is olfactory bulb. From this neuro-olfactory epithelium to olfactory bulb. Again, in olfactory bulb, there are 6 types of concentric layer. This is concentric layer of cells, which take the odorant potential into the olfactory bulb. These layers are in the olfactory bulb. First layer is olfactory cell layer. This is going here. So this first layer is olfactory cell layer. Again, second layer is glomerular layer. This is called glomeruli. This area, concentric area of bulb is called glomeruli. This is second layer, glomerular layer. Third layer is external plexiform layer. So third layer in olfactory bulb is external plexiform layer. Fourth layer is again, that is mitral tufted cell layers. Okay, this also called second order neuron. What is first order neuron? This receptor cell is called first order neuron. So this is first order neuron. Mitral cell and tufted cell are second order neurons, which take the information to the olfactory tract from the olfactory bulb. Third layer is external plexiform. Now fourth layer is mitral cell, tufted cell layer, that is second order neuron. Fifth layer is inner plexiform layers, and last is granule cell layers, which is granule cell, no black structure here also, and no also form at the level of mucous membrane, which is the final terminal part of the olfactory bipolar receptor cells. So this sixth layer is here in olfactory bulb, and 6 layer of cell found in the olfactory epithelium. Remember this, these are 6 cells, these are 6 layer in the olfactory bulb. These all layer go into this is olfactory tract, and olfactory tract divided into the 2 parts. One is medial olfactory striae, second is lateral olfactory striae, and sometimes it's intermediate, which ultimately end in this is called olfactory tubercle. The intermediate striae finish at the olfactory tubercle. So this is olfactory striae. The area where this division occurs is called anterior perforated substance, which is found in the frontal lobe, floor of the frontal lobe, and this area is primary olfactory cortex. This anterior perforated substance and this grey matter around it is called anterior perforated this primary olfactory cortex. Now this primary olfactory cortex again goes into secondary olfactory cortex, which is lateral olfactory striae, which goes into this information from primary olfactory cortex goes to secondary olfactory cortex, that is piriform cortex, peripharyngeal cortex, entorhinal area, amygdala, limbic system, and some fiber goes into the thalamus. The mainly dorsomedial nucleus of the thalamus, and this is also goes into orbitofrontal cortex. Now, this medial olfactory striae goes into septal nuclei, which is situated in the midline of the septum pellucidum. That's why it's called septal nuclei, which goes ultimately into hypothalamus and limbic system. So this hypothalamus limbic system is mainly related to the autonomic smell, and sometimes some behavioral or emotional component of smell. Okay, so this is septal nuclei, hypothalamus limbic system is very old system of olfaction, very primitive. Now come this lateral striae which goes into prepharyngeal cortex. This is less old system. Now what is the new olfactory system is whatever fiber going into thalamus and dorsomedial nucleus and orbitofrontal cortex. This is called new system of olfactory system. So this is the new system of olfactory system. So this is all about olfactory pathway. Of main thing you have to remember, this is mainly the anteperforated substance is called area 2832. So entorhinal area is main important in this, which is uncus. The antero-superior part of the temporal lobe is uncus, which detect the smell. And related to the smell is peripharyngeal cortex, piriform cortex, entorhinal area, amygdala, limbic system. This is detection of the smell, that is secondary olfactory cortex. This whole is secondary olfactory cortex. And anteperforated substance, this is primary olfactory cortex. Okay, so this is third order neuron, and this system is always fourth order neuron. So this, now I will tell what is the first order. Receptor cell is first order neuron, mitral cell and tuftid cell is second order neuron. This anteperforated substance and area, that gray matter around it is area 2830 is primary olfactory cortex, or you may say third order neuron, and fourth order neuron goes into this prepharyngeal cortex and this secondary olfactory cortex area. This is mainly situated in the superior part of the temporal lobe or floor of the frontal lobe. So this is all about olfactory area, olfactory pathway. The most common causes of loss of smell. Common causes of loss of smell, or you may say anosmia. There are three main causes. First is upper respiratory tract infection. It is virus induced. Any virus, rhinovirus, herpes virus, these may lead to loss of smell. Anosmia is most common cause. Second one is head trauma, or third one is chronic rhinosinusitis with polyp or without polyps. If we consider this as a sinonasal disease, so most common cause is sinonasal disease. URTI, chronic rhinosinusitis, is called sinonasal disease. So most common cause of anosmia is sinonasal disease, followed by head trauma and sometimes idiopathic also. These are the common causes of loss of smell. Now we will talk about what are the main congenital causes of anosmia. There are two syndromes. congenital causes. One is Kallmann syndrome, and second one is De Mauzière syndrome. So in Kallmann syndrome, this is X-linked disease which leading to congenital anosmia followed by hypogonadism. So there is defect in the gonads. Hypothalamo-hypogonadism is X-linked disease. Now this De Mauzière syndrome is having congenital anosmia, optic nerve dystrophy, and precocious puberty. So these two syndromes are common. One is Kallmann syndrome and De Mauzière syndrome are congenital causes. Many systemic diseases like diabetes mellitus, B12 deficiency, sarcoidosis may lead to anosmia, but these are the common causes of anosmia or hyposmia, loss of smell. It may be two types: conductive loss of smell and sensory neural loss of smell. So conductive mainly any pathology like any tumor, polyps, obstructive septal deviation may lead to this conductive loss of smell. Any tumor, benign or malignant in the nose, may lead to this conductive loss of smell. Sensory neural may be systemic like diabetes, B12 deficiency, any chemical injury, toxins, medicines are leading to sensory hearing loss. Aging, presbyosmia. Aging process lead to neural loss, that is presbyosmia, and head trauma. Head trauma is most common. This the olfactory hyposmia is common in frontal trauma, but complete anosmia is more common in the occipital lobe. That is 5 times in complete loss. Total anosmia is due to occipital trauma due to serine force of the serine force which lead to olfactory nerve damage. Now some basic terminologies. Now, like anosmia. Anosmia is total loss of smell. Total loss of smell is called anosmia. Hyposmia is decreased smell. Hyposmia. Atrosmia is all smell are same. All smell same. That is atrosmia. Phantosmia is hallucination of smell. There is no smell, but still patient feeling a phantosmia. It may be found in the Alzheimer or neuropsychiatric disorder. psychiatric disorders. Pantosmia, cacosmia. Cacosmia is very foul smelling smell or fecal like smell. Cacosmia, fecal like smell. Olfactory agnosia is due to the nerve pathway is intact, but still loss of smell. Agnosia, olfactory agnosia. Okay, these are the common terms, and sometimes parosmia, that is perverted smell or diversion of smell is called parosmia. So these are common terms which commonly asked about smell. The human smell is microosmotic. Is macrostatic. Is the human smell is macrostatic, but in dogs this is macroosmotic, and this in human it is macroosmotic, but in rabbits and dogs it's macroosmotic. These are two types of smell. Is macroosmotic, that is less it detects less smell in human beings than the macroosmotic found in the rabbits and dogs. Now, olfaction. There are many theories about olfaction. Suppose this is odorant, which lead to any method to at the receptor bipolar cells which activate the G protein. This is G protein couple receptor proteins. Okay, G protein which activate the adenyl cyclase, ATP AMP cyclase, which ultimately lead to action potential. There should be minimum threshold, like this is action potential, so smell is detected here. This action potential leading to smell detection of this. Anything remaining I will tell you. I don't think anything is remaining. Okay, now I will tell you test, that is olfactory. Main important test is upset, that is University of Pennsylvania smell identification test. So this is having about 40 macro test kits in 4 groups, each having 10. So this is like sniff and smell test. So this is most important. It's having commercially available kits, which is called University of Pennsylvania smell identification test, which test is commonly done. And you made an MRI CT scan to find out any obstructive of neurological cause, any tumor, MRI, and you may do olfactory related evoked potential test, or also we can be done in a specialized center. So this is all about this test of the olfaction. So I think this is all about main important topic is olfactory and smell. So we can find so many diseases. Thank you so much.